Hey everybody, welcome back to more black-white content from Callus Crew Challenge Round of 32. And by Callus Crew Challenge, I mean Callus Crew Challenge 2, Round of 32. It is Blunder, who is the finalist last year. He lost black-white to Sprinkles, of all people. Very humiliating in the finals last year against Century Express, who I have tried year after year to play in one of my Callus Invitational tournaments, and he always says no. But he is a great, great player across multiple tiers. He's someone I respect a lot. He's so underrated because he doesn't play a lot of tours these days, but he's really good at GSC. He's really good at ADV. I don't know that I've ever actually seen him play black-white, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think very highly of this player. So Blunder going to have his hands full here. But that being said, Century Express is going to have to win here because Soulwind defeated Century Express's teammates Splash and RBY set that you can also find here on the YouTube channel. And as such, if Blunder were to win here, his team, IDM Family, alongside Soulwind and CTC, would be through, and Century Express's team, with Splash and with Mincemeat, would be out of the tournament. They are Perdemos. So, a must-win match for Century Express. But he's super capable. I have the utmost respect for him. And I guess Blunder's okay too. Finalist last year, big name PokeTuber, donated like $300 last year. He's not a bad guy. Let's get to the next game. By the next game, I mean the first game in the best of three. Blunder is on the bottom and Century Express is on the top. Both of them opting for Sand. Relatively different builds on it, though. Both have a T-Tar, of course, making it Sand, and they have Gliscor. Beyond that, they've opted to go different directions. One thing that Blunder has not opted to do is bring a Ghost, and as such, the Rapid Spin is going to get rid of all the hazards there as Starmie goes for it. A lot of hazards down beneath Blunder's team, however. He has not opted to bring a Rapid Spinner, so any amount of hazards that Century Express manages to get down, which is quite a few at present, they're going to stay down. Starmie coming into Gliscor now, who is going to successfully eat his own orb, get that poison heal going. Scald there, would be super effective, but is protected against. Good chunk, 47%. He'll trade that for a knockoff. So Starmie is going to have to play the rest of this game without its lefties, suffering the sand and coming in on whatever hazards that it's trying to spin away. There's actually not sand yet because neither guy has gotten their T-Tar in, but presumably it'll come in at some point. Ferrothorn comes in, Gastro out, and even more hazards. That's layer number 2 of spikes, and he's got rocks down. Starmie comes in, is looking to spin those away, and does, but sand is going to be established, and T-Tar might try to eat the Starmie here. He's going to not run for his life. He's going to scald him and burn him, but Blunder did not go for pursuit. He simply opted for the straightforward crunch. But Starmie evidently is getting the better end of the matchup as he gets a recover off, and out of the way he goes. Starmie seems real obnoxious for Blunder's team. And the fact that they're both so hazard heavy, but one is a spinner and one does not, also seems favorable for Century Express. Also, the Volcarona in the back, I think, could also be very dangerous and just go to town if it's given the opportunity to do so. So all things considered, and take it with a grain of salt because you guys all know how much of a black-white expert I am not, but this seems like a reasonably good matchup in my noob point of view for Century Express. I would say he's probably got the team advantage here, the matchup advantage here. Draco Meteor going to be resisted, and then the damage that it did do going to be roosted away, but the Starmie is such a bitch for him. It's just roaming wild and free. Now Scald there is obviously not going to do it against Gastro. Going to Storm Drain that away. Get that special attack up to get a bigger batter Scald coming back. The damage is whatever, but he gets a burn on Lati there, which is real annoying. And the burnt T-Tar comes into hazards. He's at 6% and will die to just about anything. but it's actually going to be a trick for the Choice Scarf and Chopelberry trade-off. But both these mons are going to end up dead. Signal Beam is a formality, but it would have also died to the burn. And we've got ourselves a quick 5-5. Pursuit. Gonna hang on. Signal Beam again. And Dunyan Rings. Century Express with the 5-4 advantage after killing the Alakazam. We end up with Gliscor on Gliscor. One or both may have Ice Fang to get the other. SD and Rocks, respectively. Couple of viable Gliscor sets. SD certainly one of them. Though I'm surprised it isn't paired with Magneton, but not even going to attempt to talk about Black-White team building because I don't know. He is going to go for another SD and get immediately Whirlwinded out, though, so Blunder with the outplay on that particular turn. Spike's a knockoff, sure. Can't knock off what's not there. Starmie comes in. Does he get blown out? He does not. He gets Brave Bird did. Yeah, that's right. He got birded. And that turn, it's going to be Century Express with the outplay. He goes for the Rapid Spin, getting rid of the hazards, only to get Whirlwinded out rather than Brave Birded. It was a 50-50 there if he was going to go for Rapid Spin or Recover, but it's going to be Century Express making the right call, in that case, going for the Rapid Spin. So, Volcarona makes its first appearance. Doesn't try to set up or get cute, just clicks Flamethrower, 45% neutral damage on the Gliscor. Starmie comes in on what he thinks will be a Protect turn, but it's not. He comes in on EQ for 30%, and he dips yet again into the red. He's going to recover and get EQ'd yet again. Recover and EQ for a third time. Starmie is getting the better end of this, slowly but surely, but Gliscor is also healing up the whole time. Now Scald and EQ adds even more depth to this. And he goes for a cover. He had a chance there to Scald and get him, but mind games from both players. I mean, you don't want to Scald on a Protect turn. Earthquake for 32. Gliscor very healthy again. And Recover on a Protect turn. So Blunder finally makes a blunder, teehee, and gives Century Express the opportunity to Scald, which he does, but it is once again Storm Drained away by the Gastrodon. He will take this opportunity to Rapid Spin, and there's no punishment there, simply Recover. Pharaoh reappears, risking the burn in doing so, but is not burnt. And now it's Gliscor again. And Starmie again. I feel like we've seen this matchup before. Gastro again, thinking there might be Scald. And there is. Storm Drained away. That being said, we're still in the same position hazard-wise, where there are 3 layers of spikes and the rocks down beneath Blunder's team, but Century Express does not have any hazards beneath his team. What he does have now, though, is a burned Ferrothorn, and he also is going to have to deal with this. I did this last time. I've always called it Riunculus, and it's very hard to break old habits, but that's clearly not what the mon is called if you slow down and read it properly. It is Reuniclus, Reuniclus, Rhianoclus, Rhiannon, Rihanna, Reverberate, I've always had it as Riunculus, but it's not, because it's IC. Rhianoclus, Reuniclus. This guy's in. Knock off, coming down, no more lefties. Century Express, decent lead at the moment. 5-3 and the hazard advantage, but Blunder's sticking around. Not ready to pack it in. Burned Pharaoh isn't going to be that exciting anymore. It got its hazards down, but it's not doing much else. That guy comes back. I really hope he's not in any future games, because he's my nemesis. Gastro comes down. T-Tar comes down. Hey, Crunch is not bad there. Opportunity for a crit, but he gets a recover off. This is closer than it looks. I mean, Century Express with the lead, but not by as much as it seems. Resilient team for Blunder that's kind of fighting through these hazards pretty well. Pharaoh almost dead. Titar low-ish. No lefties star me. Yeah, I think Century Express will win eventually, but I don't think this is quite over yet. Blunder putting up a hell of a fight. See what he wants to switch in, knowing it's going to be Gastrodon. Volcarona is unsurprising. Going to opt for Quiver Dance and get scalded. You can't burn him, but you can hit him super effectively. Bug Buzz, well, crits are good as far as Century Express is concerned. And that's going to prompt a concession. So that crit, very relevant there. I don't know that Century Express wouldn't have eventually won anyway. I don't know the tier well enough to know whether he would have or wouldn't have. But obviously, if Blunder's forfeiting immediately after the crit mattered. So he's going to get him with a Bug Buzz crit. And Century Express is going to take game one. Moving right along. Here's game two. Switch those sides for continuity. Keep Blunder on the bottom again and Century Express on the top again. Sand against rain. And we've got a Mamoswine as well. Toxic on Rotom is a good start for Century Express. And now Titar in what is a Weather War matchup. Obviously Century Express wants rain going at all times. And obviously Blunder wants sand going at all times. So they are going to go back and forth trying to establish their dominance. They trade a Toxic and an Earthquake respectively. It's going to be a failed Protect for Tentacruel. And we're going to opt for Scald here and get the burn. Good start for Century Express. That burn is going to bail him out. He would otherwise have been killed by the Brave Bird there. But the attack reduction associated with the burn is going to keep him alive. And he's going to Scald again. Blunder opting for a Roost. Looks like Century Express is not concerned with keeping his Tentacruel alive. If he were to get Rain down from Politoed, he could heal it that way with the Rain and Protect and all that. But yeah, I guess he is just kind of resigned to letting the Tentacruel go. It is his Rapid Spinner, but he just doesn't seem to value it that much. And he knows what he's doing a hell of a lot better than I do, so gonna go with the flow here. See if he tries to Rapid Spin it again. He does, successfully. And it's just gonna be Roost. Hanging on by a thread. He's only at 13%. Scald. And Brave Bird. So finally Tentacruel bites the dust. 6-5 now, favoring Blunder as Mamoswine comes in. Rotom reappears. And Crash Into Me by the Dave Matthews Band for an underwhelming 19%. What he does do, though, is establish Rain, getting Volt switched in the process only to immediately lose the Rain as Titar comes down. Mamoswine reappears. Titar not going to stick around. Mamo on Lati, who is not gaining lefties. Trick or Treat, Specs and lefties. Now he is gaining lefties. Ferrothorn going to have those specs, and the move he's going to lock on is Knockoff. No more lefties for Lando, but stuck on Knockoff, he's going to get out of the way. Mamo, U-turn, leads us back to Rotom, who I don't think has attacked at all. No, he Volt switched once, my mistake. Here comes Thundy, and there is the rest. So status problem gone, Chesto popping it. Awake we are, but no lefties. Taking sand damage and all that. And Thundy going to go for sub. HP Ice, very dangerous here. Could also just click Thunder. Or you could just crit HP Ice. Fair enough. Critical hit is going to kill the Lati there. Obviously the crit mattered. And that's going to leave us in a 5-5. Grass Knot, Crunch respectively. Crunch getting the better end of this. Thundy in danger here. But he's going to Grass Knot again. And Crunch will be lethal, so that's going to quickly even us up, actually, after Sand takes him out to a 4-4. Now Lottie comes down. Lando had his lefties knocked off, so any damage is good damage. And we're going to start out with a Draco Meteor. Might be followed up by another Draco Meteor. This one would not have done much to the Skarm, but it misses for good measure. And there's probably a Roost coming that Century Express cannot prevent. So he's going to go to Mamo. Skarm's still burnt. Going to have to deal with that for the rest of the game. Icicle Crash, not exciting, but remember that Rotom does not have lefties. He had a Chesto Berry that he popped earlier. Substitute hoping for a switch or a Hydro Pump miss. Gets neither. Not going to play that game anymore. Back to Lottie. And bold move to Volt Switch into a ground type. He must have known there would be a switch or he wouldn't have made that play. So good read there for Blunder. Draco Meteor, though, even without the attack reduction, special attack reduction rather, is going to be really underwhelming against Skarm at 34%. And once again, it is just going to be Roost. But the Mamo reappears yet again. And Rotom going to be the answer yet again. These Icicle Crashes have never been more than 20%. They're not that exciting, but the Rotom can only take so many of them. And now is the time that it takes its nap. Remember, Pharaoh is locked on whatever it clicks here, and that ends up being Rocks. So out of the way he goes, Rain reestablished, and Rain is going to be the be-all, end-all of the weather. T-Tar's dead, Sand cannot happen, so it is going to be raining for the rest of this battle. The weather war has been won by Century Express. Whether or not that wins him the game, less clear, but he does win the weather war. Here comes Mamo. And Lando, down to just 10% at this point. Like I said, no lefties. They got knocked off. Skarm coming in. Skarm has switched out this whole time of the Mamo, but desperate times, desperate measures, I suppose. Icicle Crash into me, 20%, 22 rather, and he's going to roost it up. Mamo seems like a mon that Blunder squad is not having an easy time dealing with in this game. Does get spikes down to complement the rocks that he already has down. Rapid Spinner dead for Century Express, so gonna have to deal with those hazards for the rest of the game. But can Blunder deal with the Mamo? I don't know what the base PP of Roost is. You guys probably know. Let's have a look-see. So it must be a base of 10 because it PP ups to 16. And he's got 8 of those left. Halfway there, living on a prayer. Politoed gets him with Scald before getting Whirlwinded out. Here comes Lottie, which doubles back to Mamo. Must be anticipating a switch. And he gets it in against the Rotom, which I believe has not killed any sleep turns. But this time, Icicle crashes into the wall. And he pulls it back. Here comes Lottie. Finds the Alakazam that has not appeared all game. Draco Meteor does a bazillion, but he hangs on with Sash. And Focus Blast does 0 because it doesn't connect. Alakazam does actual nothing this game. 2 Draco Meteors later, and it is out of here. Lando gonna die to the hazards. Rotom gonna come in as the answer. Draco Meteor there. Nope, not after the reduction. And now Mamoswine reappears. Rotom set to wake up next turn, but will it be dead before it gets the chance? Well, it will as long as Icicle Crash connects, and it does, and I believe that is going to be it for Blunder. Icicle Crash into me, a boy's dream, and that is going to be it. Century Express takes care of business, 2-0 over Blunder, and that is going to send this match to, well, frankly, a set that isn't going to be narrated, but a deciding Gen 9 match between CTC for IDM Family and Mincemeat for Perdemos. The best way to see that match, either live or the replays, is to join the Discord server. There's a link in the description. The other thing you can do in the Discord server that's really important is you can donate to this tour via the donation link. Other than the small amount that PayPal takes, all of it goes to the players, our prize pool. only $300 something right now. Really underwhelming for one of my money tours. Really want to do better. If you've been enjoying this and you want me to keep making these videos, please consider donating. Any amount really, truly helps and is appreciated. What else? Like button if you'd like. Subscribe button if you'd really like. And, like, stay tuned for more battles and stuff. See you guys in the next video.